Good morning. Today we're going to look at non-scalar subqueries, aka subqueries that actually give us lots of data. So a definition on this is going to be a subquery that's going to give us either multiple rows as a result or multiple columns as a result. And so that's just basically the idea where we're going to have a scalar subquery only gives us exactly one value. Non-scalar subqueries are all the subqueries that give us multiple rows and or columns with the information, aka they're more likely a real query we're going to use to generate actual information and grab that information from it. And so as such, because we're working with multiple values, we can't simply use a direct equals or a relational operator because there's multiple things that could be happening. So I can't simply just use the equal sign to make that happen. Instead, I have to use other keywords, the in, any, and all keywords in conjunction with the appropriate equality or relational operators. So that's how we'll go ahead and work with this. The details on this is actually a more common way of working with subquery because most of the time you're not just getting a single solitary square value out of that thing. You're not just getting one value out of a table, you're getting lots of values and you want to compare that information. And so most of the time when you're doing information or generating data from a query, you're going to be getting a non-scalar subquery. So that's the more common type you'll actually be working with. We often see these inside our where clause, and that's, like I said, we're going to be using the in, any, or all keywords. And the column count, the type, and the order must match on both types of the comparison. So if I'm extracting 2 columns from here, I need to get 2 columns out of that so I can actually use that. So make sure that when you're doing the comparison, you have the appropriate matching set of information. If you're looking for an equality operation, we're going to be using the in keyword with this because the in is going to look at the values that are specified on the left-hand side. Are they inside what's returned from the subquery anywhere inside the stack of values that are attached to that? Whether it's one thing with multiple rows or is it multiple things with multiple rows and columns, making sure that matches against it. We'll use the any keyword with a relational operator compare against any one of those operations. In this case, we want to think about the idea of a logical or. Is it this or this or this or this or this or this? So we have the in for a direct match, the any for a exact match, and the all keyword to compare against every single value. It's less than this and that and that and that. And so with the idea of all, it's like the logical and, but only with a relational operator because it's not, you can't be equal to all the values. You can only use the all with the idea of a less than or a greater than or a greater and equal to, because if you're trying to equal all, it's like, well, that doesn't quite work. I know. Query. So again, we're looking with in for a direct equal comparison, the any for idea of a logical or where it's less than any single one of the values, or all if it's less than or greater than all of the associated values. I'll take a quick look at this. So we have a where example right here. So I'm selecting the student's first name and the student's zip from the student table, where the student's student ID and the student's created by is in the select section.section ID. I know this is not a real value, but it could work. And section.modified by from section SEC, where section.location is like L something. So what I'm looking right here is you can see that I have a direct comparison where the student's student ID and the section's section ID, that's where those have to match, and the student created by and the section modified by, those have to match. So I have to have matches on both those values. If I had 3 columns, I'd have to have 3 matching things on that. So making sure that we have the idea that the things we're working with match the appropriate components. And again, what we're working with in here doesn't have to necessarily be selected from the select clause, it just has to be existing in the tables that we're working with. So remember, what you're looking at in the where clause is happening at before the select clause, so it doesn't have to necessarily be related directly to that. I hope this is a quick way you can look for and work with the idea of using multi-column or multi-row subqueries. Have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.